Thanks, Coach. Originally opened in 1995 as Jacksonville Municipal Stadium when this franchise entered the NFL. We welcome you to Jacksonville and TIAA Bank Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go.
Hey, 626. Hey, Foxtrot.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. Open here is Allison. That's complete. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Foles and the Jags come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
Hey, here we go. I got you.
51 to mine.
Hayden Cole.
I'm coming after you.
To go.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the 1st. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
51. I know you ain't got it.
First carry for Raquel Armstead. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Foles. It's complete to Chris Conley. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On 3rd down, Fournette. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 3 yards won't be enough here, as that'll bring up 4th down. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And this one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Got a man, that's Allison. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Out of the backfield, this is Aaron Jones. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer 1st down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We're scoreless after 1. The Packers with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Check 31, check 31.
26.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Calais Campbell, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Get 300. Get 300.
Now it's Rodgers. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Rodgers now to throw. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. They give him a gain of 38. Not really any offense for them to speak of here in this first half. Maybe that's what they needed, that big play.
Yeah, it seems that maybe everything changes right there. They've been a little slow out of the gate. We've seen that. But that one big play, that could spark a big burst right here.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. They go back to the ground with Jones. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the Jaguars' 20-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 16 yards, a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now Jones. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a 1st down. He's going to let this go deep for Lee. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Foles. And he completes it to Westbrook. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection.
Here we go. 180.
Record.
Fournette, a 1st down carry. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Leonard Fournette. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down.
Let's put that team on the bus.
Here's Foles. And that is incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Packers will get the football at their own 20-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. And able to find Graham, complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Rodgers now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down.
It moves to 2nd and 10.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw is Rodgers. Going to throw again. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And again, it's Rodgers. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
But it brings up 4th down.
Here's J.K. Scott now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now we're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter.
We got this.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Now Fournette, and he will have a first down here at about the 40. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on third down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Back to throw now on first down. This one complete to the tight end, O'Shaughnessy. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7.
Mike 51, Mike.
Here's a second and 7. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 41-yard line.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. A pass there complete to Westbrook. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be second and 9. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this second and 9. Fournette on the counter. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Preston Smith there on the stop.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Jair Alexander that time able to knock that one away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And Lambo will put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. He finds an opening past the 40, the 40, the 30. again. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They'll run it again with Fournette, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17. Foles now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll toss it to Fournette. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Again, it's Fournette. And he's got this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Packers' 36.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Trying to pick it up with Armstead. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction. This is Josh Lambo. He hit from 57 a year ago. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The field goal we just saw has us now at a 1-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Rodgers to throw. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
All day, baby, let's go. Let's go.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Here's Rodgers. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
That's good for Jacksonville. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Foles. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Za'Darius Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Second and 15. The open man is Westbrook. They'll wind up getting 10 back there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and 5. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. D.D. Westbrook, his first touchdown on the year, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the fourth quarter. They'll try and run it in, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Now Rodgers to throw again. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
This is fielded at the 27. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10.
Here we go.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. The end result, 21 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On the draw, this is Fournette. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll run with Fournette. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. A quick throw finding Lee out wide. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Move. 3 down, 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
On second down, Armstead. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. So it's first and goal. Need to be a little wary of leaving Aaron Rodgers too much time, but you got to score here first. Looking to throw. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
And a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. Now a whistle and a timeout defensively. Trying to stop it, and they do with 2 seconds to go prior to the 2-minute warning. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. Here's Fournette. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Inside of 2 minutes remaining in a 2-point ball game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The kick by Lambeau is good, and they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they've managed the clock exactly right.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, DJ Hayden. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
And he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll get only 2 there, and it's second and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This Fournette territory here, and he's alone in the backfield on second and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it third and goal. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's third and goal. On the ground with a tight end. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. but the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And it took a big 4th quarter to do it, but they were able to get the job done, and that's the bottom line.
No doubt about it. And let's face it, they had to be more than nervous in the 4th quarter. But a lot of that was their own doing. I think you observed during the game, their energy level just didn't seem to be there. But in the 4th quarter, somehow they dug deep and found that extra bit, right? That reserve tank. They hauled it out. Offense scored some points. Defense held them.